Hello and welcome to another episode of the TeaTime. Guys, we have talked about the social issues, we have talked about the economical issues, but today I have the team of an organization with me who is working for the most important issues we have, and that is our own planet, the planet we live on, planet Earth. I have with me the team of Water Speaks. This team, this organization have been talking about why the water is one of the most, or actually the most important resource on this planet. Let me introduce you guys to my guest. I have with me Dr. Verma, who is professor at University of Toronto, and she is founder and president of Water Speaks. And along her, we have Zehra, who's environment scientist, and she is vice president of Water Speaks. Thank you so much, guys, for joining today. How are you today, and how's everything going?
Very well, we are fine. It's a wonderful weather outside. And thank you again, Salman, for inviting us over to talk about this very important topic.
Thank you so much for joining. Zehra, how are you feeling? Summer's here. What's going on?
Well, things are looking great. I'm enjoying the weather as we speak, and I'm looking forward to some gardening and going for a walkathon this Saturday at Milton. So looking forward to that for sure.
All right, thank you so much, guys, for joining today. But I do want to. I've read a little bit about Water Speaks, but the idea here today is to educate our viewers. What is Water Speaks? Where does the idea come from? And most importantly, what are you guys trying to achieve through this organization?
Absolutely. Thank you for asking that question, because I want the audience to know the importance of what we are doing and interact with your audience and broaden our horizon a little bit. So Water Speaks is an organization with a very straightforward mission. What we try to do is we try to translate the voice of water through research, education, and action. That's a very simple mission, you might think, but it is actually very daunting, because to get that concept of water as a living entity, as something that is alive, is a very difficult thing to communicate to our audience, because we see water as a resource, and therein lies the problem. So as an educator at University of Toronto, I've been seeing a lot of changes in this field. So it stems from my desire to educate. That's how Water Speaks started a long time back, but we finally put it on paper in 2020. So in order to fulfill our mission and role, we try to achieve it through different means. So our first thing is documentary filmmaking. So we released an award-winning documentary called Water Be Damned, and I want to kind of clarify the spelling. It's not a swear word, it's D-A-M-M-E-D. So I just wanted to kind of clarify that for our audience. First thing is that we are so disconnected from the spirituality and philosophy, the ethical aspect of water, which is actually quite a paradox. The way we treat water, we not only disregard it, I feel that sometimes we don't even see water. It's kind of an invisible thing. We take it for granted. This disconnect is actually very disheartening, because unless we see water as a living entity, unless we see water as a spiritual connector, we are not going to solve the problem of water. Water Be Damned is based on the Punjab part of India and the water crisis that the farmers are facing, the groundwater abstraction, the issues that has kind of given rise to the problem of water. You know, they are digging deeper and deeper and not finding enough water. So once that also goes away, the groundwater, nothing is left, because the surface water is severely polluted. As a result, a lot of people there are facing severe health crisis in the form of cancer, in the form of skin diseases, liver diseases. It's rampant in Punjab. And also, we also are talking about managing and programming a divided river between India and Pakistan. So I would encourage you viewer to please go and watch it on YouTube. Now it's available, and try to understand what we are trying to do in this documentary is looking at water through 4 pillars. If any of these pillars are missing, sound management and governance, that's the first pillar. Then economic aspect of water, water as a resource, so demand and supply, financing. The third pillar is basically the science and technology on which the water system is based on. And the fourth pillar that we talk about is the spiritual aspect of water. We all connect to water in some way, spiritually, right?
Yeah.
All of us.
Correct.
So this spiritual connection has not been used in our policy programs. So what we do when we don't talk about the spiritual aspect of water and its connection that we have as humans, we start treating water as a resource.
Dr. Verma, that's very interesting, and I have a lot of questions so far what I've heard from you. But very first thing which comes to my mind is that the name itself, water speaks, and you're talking about spirituality of the water as an entity. It's very philosophical.
Mm-hmm.
How do you explain it to someone who said that, hey, wait a minute, I want to be more rational about the water as a resource?
Yeah, absolutely. And I get that as a environmental scientist. I get that everything has to be evidence based.
Correct.
Right? In our field, I need the evidence before I can say yes, this is what we have to do. But there are certain realms of reality that we explore as human beings. So things like our emotions, our connections, our spiritual leanings are not accounted for. And it plays a huge role because we have seen eco-anxiety, which is especially the young students that I teach, very anxious about the climate change these days. They're anxious, what's the world coming to? So when we kind of take away that part, so when people say, hey, I need evidence, and how can water speak? Yes, it's the faith that you have on the entity of water as a living entity. And this is where I want to give you an example of Wanganui River in New Zealand, which was declared a living entity in 2017 after 100 years of fight.
Really?
Yes.
I'm not educated about it. That's very interesting.
It is very interesting.
Yeah.
And it has a lot of headaches and loopholes. When you declare a water body a living entity, there are lots of logistics, lots of administrative issues that needs to be addressed, legal loopholes that needs to be addressed. So if River Wanganui, and I want to shout out to the Maui tribes,
right.
They have been petitioning for it since 100 years.
Wow.
So that is where I kind of bring in this concept to people, that unless we treat water as a living entity, we have tried everything else and we have failed. Water is at a crisis point right now.
Right. Of course, you're very educated on the subject, and I can ask very silly questions, but I do want to ask those questions because there might be viewers who need understanding.
There's no silly questions.
So, the world, the earth itself, majority of it is water.
Yes.
So when you're saying water is an entity, and we need to differentiate between the water which is useful as human resource versus ocean water.
Yes.
So can you very quickly and briefly elaborate the difference between those two separate concept of water?
Yes. So 70% of our earth is water, 30% is land, just like human body. Right? It's 70% water and the rest is muscles and skeleton and skin and bones. So see that the nature's reflection on this very philosophical concept of water being 70% and land being 30%. So if you put all the water in one jar, in one glass, 97% of that water is in oceans.
Okay.
And it is one of the most important things that it drives the engine, the climate engine of our world.
Right.
That's what ocean water circulation
Absolutely,
does.
yes.
Right? So that is equally important, don't get me wrong. That 3% of fresh water, just 3% if you think about it, is on our land that humans, animals, plants can survive on. So that out of that 3%, 2% is gone. It's not gone, it's not easily accessible because it's groundwater, glaciers, there is permafrost, the atmospheric water, not easily accessible. What is easily accessible is less than 1% actually of rivers,
Wow.
lakes, marshes, bogs, those little bodies of water that you see all across the world.
Right.
Most of our river system is transboundary, it's shared, right? So there's complexity there. And most of the lakes are either dying or already dead, like Aral Sea, disappeared in front of our eyes. Lake Chad, gone like that in front of our eyes. So the gravity of this situation is such that people need to understand we do not have a lot of water to work with, fresh water that is.
That's very interesting. I hope our viewers are understanding that how important the water is, and this is very good information. Let me get into the action item for you guys.
Yes.
Water Speaks. I want to know what the plan is. We're living in Canada. Canada is known for having very clean water bodies and
Yes.
abundance of it.
Abundant, yes.
We are talking about Punjab in India.
Yeah.
I had experience working with water wells in area of Pakistan, Sindh, Thar, and we had to dig about 700 meter deep to get the drinking water.
Absolutely.
And I understand the value of water for some areas are a lot higher. How can you guys help communities like Punjab in India, Thar and Sindh, and other areas around the world? What are you guys doing to help them out?
Yes, and that's the thing I want to say, that we are also a very small organization. It's run 100% through volunteers, 100%.
That's beautiful.
Right? So so we have our challenges. We don't have enough resources. Through documentaries, we hope that people will, just to knock some sense on governments and people, to say that water is not dividing us. We are dividing water. So just kind of tell them that.
Sorry, I'm interrupting. That's a beautiful quote. I mean, water is not dividing us. We are dividing the water.
We say, oh, divided between India and Pakistan.
Yeah.
And yes, the current crisis, it is a tough situation everywhere. Right here, if you come back to North America, U.S. wants our water, and you're right. Canada has sufficient amount of water, and we had this myth of abundance, unfortunately, in Canada, thinking that we have enough, so we don't need to worry. But we do need to worry, because as water depletion happens around the world, it will be the one resource that everybody will go after. So any water-rich country will be in trouble.
Okay. Dr. Verma, thank you so much. I'm gonna I'll come towards you, Zehra, now.
Yes.
And I want to ask you, as an environment scientist, what made you decide that you want to work for Water Speaks, and what is your role in it?
Certainly. I wanted to say, Salman, that growing up, I've always been passionate about the environment. Ever since I was a little girl, I would ask Albert Einstein questions, but I never had the solutions. And by that I mean as simple as, imagine a 5-year-old girl asking her parents, Mom, Dad, why is the sky blue? Why is the grass green? Why are there factories spewing out smoke? Like I was very concerned from a tiny age. And what I can tell you with confidence, Salman, is from the get-go, I knew that my calling, my desire was to build my passion into a career that not only resonates with me, but something that can help serve the community, in
Right.
which, nature is very important. And how many of us can really be fortunate and say nature is my office? You know
Right,
what I'm
right,
saying?
of course, yeah, yeah.
So I would say coming to Canada was a big blessing. My education and my background supported me to where I am. As a matter of fact, I was telling Dr. Verma that I studied from UFT as well. And then right after I graduated, I knew my career would be under
Sorry,
environmental sciences.
I'm interrupting out of
Sorry.
curiosity. Did you ever take her class?
No,
Unfortunately,
unfortunately, no, we did not cross paths. So, I would wish I was in one of Dr. Verma's class, but unfortunately, we didn't cross paths at the time because, mind you, I graduated back in 2014. So,
Oh, wow, okay.
yeah, it's been quite a while. But no, fast forward 10 years later, I actually was at a UFT career panelist event, and I was one of the speakers. And amongst the speakers, I met Dr. Verma, and she was talking about her story being a lecturer at UFT, followed by running her organization, which is Water Speaks. And believe it or not, Salman, I was literally at the panel and I'm thinking, voila, I really wanted to join an organization. I just didn't know where to start, how. I had so many questions. But Dr. Verma was my light, and I knew that I needed to get in touch with her as soon as possible. So the next thing I knew, I gave her a phone call. I had her contact through the panel, and I said, listen, Dr. Verma, I had the pleasure of meeting you at the panelist event, and I would be delighted to be part of your team. So, and then she graced me with open arms.
Gosh,
Yeah.
no, the delight was all ours, because as I said, we are a not-for-profit, volunteer-based organization, so we're always looking for new talent.
Right.
And with Zara, it was just a fresh of breath air and loads of hard work that she brought into our organization, and we'll talk about her role and what she is working on currently.
Right. So viewers, this is very important organization like this. This is our way to give back to not just to the community but to the planet itself. I think that's a wonderful organization, and I encourage people, if you are and feel, if you're spiritually an environmentalist, join them and go from there. All right. For any non-profitable organization, volunteering is important, but resource is another big challenge. Let's talk about the resources. You guys probably need funds, and how do you manage to collect funds? What do you guys do? Are you guys doing events? Are you guys doing fundraisings? How are you collecting fund to develop resources for your program?
That's a very good question, Salman. Water Speaks is delighted to tell you that we've conducted multiple events at the UFT venue by celebrating World Water Day.
Right.
Now, I can understand if a lot of viewers are wondering that do we have World Water Day? And the answer is yes. We do celebrate
It's
World
very
Water
important
Day.
to know.
So precisely.
Yeah.
And we actually celebrate every year in March, March 22nd.
That's right.
And I think it's very important to understand, resonating to what Dr. Verma was saying, that you have to appreciate water and its natural resource. And with the years passing by, we can see the good and we can see the challenges. And one of the ways to come together as a community, commemorate our resource, is to celebrate and honor water.
For sure.
As that being said, this year, I would say 2025 has been a golden year, where I got together with Dr. Verma and our co-president, Maya Fletcherman. The body of our three organizations got together and we said, listen, we need to dream big. And what better way than to connect with our community, which is why we are here in your platform to invite you and your viewers to our June event. Luckily, it's on Father's Day, June 15th, 2025. I am delighted to tell you that we are celebrating our event called Harmonizing Wellness and Environmental Sustainability. Big title, but let me break it down for you.
Please.
So, harmonizing simply means that we are trying to establish the concept of wellness and environmental sustainability merging together. You can contest to this for me, Salman, that a lot of our demographics are focusing on fitness and their wellness improvement. Wouldn't you agree?
For sure.
Which is excellent.
Yeah.
But let's be honest. How many of us are concerned about the environment? How many of us walk outside our houses and say, is there anything I can do to take care of our environment? Or do we just take a breath of fresh air and say, well, off to my day, off I go to work, off I go to school. There's litter on the ground. Oh, that's not my problem. Oh, there's something in our stormwater. That's not my problem.
Well, it's just a confession.
Yes.
I'm one of those guys.
That's
I
very
don't
honest
even
of you.
no, but
That's-
it's just natural. We don't even
Most
think
of
about
us,
these small
yeah,
things, right?
yeah.
Like it's very important. Yes, it's
Yes.
very important. So of course that's amazing that you guys are reminding us. But
Yeah.
keep going. Sorry, I
So
interrupted you.
no, not at all, Salman. And you know what I say, like along with I appreciate your vulnerability, and I want to let you know that this platform, this event, is meant to inspire you. Water Speaks, as Dr. Verma mentioned beautifully, is it's a welcoming entity, right? We don't want you or any of our viewers to feel less of anything.
For sure.
This event is meant to be shedding some hope, some wisdom, an opportunity to do something great for yourself, for your community, and for the sake of your, generation. Whether you have kids or not, it's just a way of saying that at least you're doing something. One step at a time. Any action that you do, it can make a world of a difference.
For sure, that's wonderful. I do want to emphasize. I want to emphasize on the event which you guys are
Yes.
organizing. So let's repeat the date. You said, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
It's June 15th. So Zehra, can you tell me the time of the event?
Certainly. It's starting at 3 p.m.
Starting at
Doors
3 p.m.
open, and it will go on till 6 p.m.
3 to 6.
Yes.
And can you remind the viewers again what is the location?
The location is in Queen Elizabeth Park Community and Culture Center. That's in Oakville, Ontario.
Okay.
And yes, I would invite our viewers to please come that day. Now, I understand it's on Father's Day, but we have good news for you. Along with this event, we got together wonderful, and I mean fantastic vendors and sponsors who are participating in this event and providing vouchers for Father's Day. So we don't want any of our fathers to miss this fantastic package.
I promise that I will try to be there, and I'm pretty sure the viewers will join as well. Another question: is there a process to like a ticket or entry ticket or anything?
That's a good question, Salman, and I'm delighted to tell you and our viewers that this is in fact a free event.
And everybody's welcome, and everybody should join.
Absolutely, with your family, with your children, we have all sorts of activities you can imagine. I don't want to spoil it for you here, but for that you have to register. So the only catch, Salman, is that we have a poster with our cue card available. All you got to do is just scan it through, and it will take you to a prompt page that will address what our event is about. And oh, did I forget? Lunch is provided as well. So
Wow.
and that's
Free entrance.
lunch, free entry. But all we want is our viewers to please register and have your names there, the amount of members or friends you're bringing along, and then that way we can get the ball rolling.
Right. So what do you guys need more? It's free lunch, there's vouchers, and you guys can go and learn about.
Entertainment.
Yeah.
There's live entertainment. Did I say there's photo booth? Romila, we forgot to mention. There's photo booth.
There's photo
there.
booth.
Yeah.
So guys,
Environmental themes,
you gotta go,
yes.
guys. You gotta go to this event. And the most important part, and of course, I'm not focusing on it. There's lunch and everything else, but you gotta learn about the planet you live on.
Absolutely.
That's very important.
And that's
too,
what
right?
we're saying. Come celebrate Father's Day with Mother Nature.
Absolutely.
Oh, what a beautiful statement
Yeah.
that is.
So both are represented.
Yeah.
Everybody's welcome.
Right. Guys, thank you so much for coming. I am going to ask you guys to give a message to her, but this is very important for me, and I'm educating myself here. You guys talked about creating documentary. You guys talked about other events you guys have done. But is there a very general goal, a one-liner goal, which represent Water Speaks?
Yes.
What would that be?
From my side, it's water is everything. Everything is water. That's it. That's the goal.
Water is everything, and everything is water. Right. Zehra, would you want to add something?
We have only one planet, and every action you take will lead to greatness.
Okay, thank you so much, guys. I'm going to go one by one, and I'm going to take the views. What message do you have for the viewers? And I want to speak from the heart, because I've been talking to you guys, and I feel it's not just a non-profitable organization. You guys are spiritually connected to the cause.
Yes.
So please go ahead. I would love for my viewers to hear from you. Thank you. Dr. Verma, let's start with you.
Yes, one thing with water, about water is And the reason I started the connection, or I felt the connection to water, was because water is not judgmental. Water does not belong, yet it belongs. Water is everywhere, yet what you see with water, the connection that you see with water. And if you're somebody like me who is kind of fed up with with the way the world is going, with the humanity, with the politics, with the violence, with the wars, with so many difficult things, with the inequity that's happening around the world, water is somebody, and that's why water speaks to me, because water does not care whether, what's your skin color, what's your nationality, what's your religion, what's your language. No, if you need water, I'll come and provide you through clouds. I will pour here. It's a kind of a water archetype, a personality of water, and I will move and provide sustenance for you. And that's what we do at Water Speaks. We don't belong, yet we belong.
Wow, what a wonderful message. Thank you so much. Zehra, I'm going to come to you. Please, what's the message for you? And of course, please, in your message, I would request you to remind about the event and the setting one more time.
Absolutely. Thank you, Salman. Ladies and gentlemen, this event, if anything, is an opportunity for you to come together, meet our diversified community as one, and understand the gravity of the situation. We don't want to stress anyone with ego anxiety, but we want to inspire you. We want you to know that there is hope. For every problem, there is a solution. This event is being organized by Water Speaks, and our two other organizers, Mr. Kamran Rizvi, who is a Meridian environmental consultant and an artist by heart, and another gentleman by the name of Afroz Khan, who is a fitness wellness instructor at the Toronto Peel Police. They are all passionate, and all of us organizers share one thing in common. We walk the walk and talk the talk. What do I mean by that? I mean, we're not here just to tell you that we care about the environment and that's it. We think about it all the time, constantly. And I know there are a lot of you out there who are wondering, what can I do to, make things right? Some of us get stuck and we give up, we feel hopeless, but don't fear. That's why Water Speaks is here. And that's why I invite you to come to our event at Harmonizing Wellness and Environmental Sustainability. The relationship between your wellness and environment coming together. Because let's face it, if the environment is not well, your health is not going to be well. If you want your wellness to supersede, you must take care of our environment together as a community. So one more time, our event is on June 15th, 2025, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Queen Elizabeth Park Community and Culture Center. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining today, and I wish you luck for all your projects and Water Speaks is overall.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Guys, this was the episode of Tea Times. I want you guys to put your part, put your share towards the community, towards the planet Earth, and I think Water Speaks is one organization which can give you the wonderful opportunity to put your share in, be it financially, be it with your time, be it with any way you can. Please be part of organization as Water Speaks and such similar organizations. With that, this is the episode today, the Tea Time, and I'm your host, Salman Arshad. See you next time.